Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, you are very welcome. I'm Jane and my husband Mike does everything behind the camera. We're British, early retirees, we have no debt, we've paid off the mortgage, and we live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life here in Brittany in northwest France. And every Sunday we share something personal with you, the things that we are doing personally, every day, all of the time to save money. And this week I'm going to share with you how this is a no spend July and how we're making preparations as frugally as we possibly can for our upcoming move, because we leave this place on the 29th of August. And any of you who have relocated to another part of the country or a fair distance away know there are costs involved. So let's share with you how we're keeping our everyday costs down this July. I thought I'd start by sharing with you, especially if you're new to the channel, that June and July are 2 of our 6 no-spend months. And in a no-spend month, we do not spend our discretionary budget. So if you go back to our budgeting video, we will put the link to that in the description box. You will see in each and every month there is a discretionary amount of money, and for 6 months of the year we don't spend that. So in June the discretionary budget was 150 euros. The discretionary budget in July, approximate figures here, I can't remember exactly, was 250 euros, giving us another 400 that goes into savings. And if you imagine that throughout the year, what we try and do with our no spend months is to add in approximately thereabouts, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, 1,000 euros that we keep in our regular account. You would call it your checking account. British people call it our current account, that we like to keep in our current account for all those eventualities of things that come up. The dog lead breaks, my hairbrush breaks, those things that just pop up, those things that you cannot budget for absolutely everything. And we just call it sort of like a buffer, a financial buffer. And we just keep that sort of extra money in our current account. So it's a normal no spend month for us. Now let's go into how we're dealing with those extra costs and how we're going to fund them for our relocation next month. So let's share with you now the money that we need to find and how we are going to find it in our budget for the extra costs that we're going to have on August the 29th. So we have a van and a driver, and this is a small van and it is only our personal items. A small van taking our personal items down to the south of France, and that's 1,800 euros. We are then paying for some of the inventory in the house that we're going to. So they gave us a list, photographs, internal, external photographs of things like the fridge freezer, the dishwasher, the washing machine, those type of items that are all under 2 years old that we've agreed to pay for. Items in the house, vacuum cleaners, TVs, some items of furniture. And the amount came to 1,200. Now, even if we got there and there was nothing there and we went scraping around on Facebook Marketplace and secondhand shops, we probably couldn't get as good a deal as that. So we agreed on that price. It was also no less to hire a van ourselves. And like I said in a previous video, one of us would have to have taken the car and the dogs. One of us would have to be in the van. Neither of us wanted to do that really. So that's why we're paying a van and a driver to take our personal stuff. Now you're going to ask, where on earth is all that extra money going to come from? We are selling everything here. So if you imagine from lawnmowers to garden equipment to log splitting machines to solar power banks to solar panels, did you know a removals company will not take a solar power box? They will not move them. They will not move them. They can, on an extremely rare thing, set fire to themselves or explode, those type of things, so they won't move them. So we've sold all of those. We've sold things like bikes and things that we don't want to take with us. We've, like I said, garden equipment. We've sold household equipment and furniture and so on. And all of that money is just being kept aside, well, banking it in a savings account at the moment to pay for stuff when we do the whole transfers of finances and everything on the 29th of August. So all of that. And then there's all the extra stuff that we've incurred as well. So paying for the septic tank to be emptied, cleaned out and refilled costs €250. I've got loads of other things here. Yeah, here's another bit. This is our other part of our expense. We have going to have about a week where we're going to have an empty house, where we're just going to have to get rid of everything from inside the house. I mean, like everything. And in the end, things are just going to have to go to the recycling centre or charity shops to get rid of absolutely everything. So what we're going to do on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday before we go is we are staying in a very affordable Airbnb locally. Then we've got the travel expenses of getting there. So we've worked out about 200 in transport if we can take into consideration fuel for the car and tolls for the péage, for the motorways, the route down there. We're then going to have 2 nights in hotels. So we're going to have the Saturday night in a hotel when we get there, a Friday night in a hotel. We've allowed 200 for that, and that's to include some food as well. We'll probably just pick up something from a takeaway and take it back to the hotel if we possibly can. So, we've got a massive load of expenses there, haven't we? So we've got, 3,600 of expenses, and we're just about going to cover that with everything that we are selling here. So it's kind of like a cost neutral operation, but we're really, really keeping an eye on the finances. So let's talk about all the other things that we're doing to save money all of the time here this July. We're doing everything we possibly can this July to keep our food spending costs down as far as we possibly can. So we're eating some funny concoctions. I'm literally scraping out the backs of the cupboards. And if I'm thinking, oh yeah, okay, jar of sweet and sour sauce, I better make some kind of a stir fry, or anything that I've got is going into recipes. Anything. Mike's got a bit of a sweet tooth. He likes something sweet every now and then. So, I used up flour, I used up margarine, and I used up jam. I made him 24 jam tarts, put them in the freezer. He's taken out a few at a time. I'm just making sure we use up everything and we're not buying anything. So our meals are pretty simple at the moment. And once we get down to about the second week of July, I will only be buying very, very fresh produce for things that we just add to stuff. So I'll be using up every lentil, every bean, everything you can possibly imagine. We might be living off soups and veggie stews and very simple stuff. But I will empty out one freezer. Empty that freezer out, defrost it, clean it. Get that big freezer. Well, it's not a very big freezer. A freezer from the basement sold. And then as we get into August and into the last week of August, everything must go. We've got a charity near us called Tirukut, which means recycling house. Anything and everything we've got left at the end of it will go to them. I thought I'd also share with you how we keep our budget normal in these no-spend months. So everything that has a sinking fund, everything that has a budget, everything that is already saved for will be paid for as normal in the months of July. So anything, for example, if anybody's birthday comes up, because I know some of you have asked this about what if you have a birthday in a no-spend month? We have a birthdays and Christmas sinking fund. We save into that a regular amount each month. And then if somebody's birthday is in that no-spend month, the money is saved. We save for haircuts, we save for the dog's grooming, we save for the dog's care. Anything like that comes up in that month, it's saved for. Anything that the car needs. I did notice the other day in the car, I thought to myself, I don't think the aircon in the car is running as cool as it normally does. So I might take the car in this month to see if they could check that, to see if it needs regassing, and maybe it might need refilling. And if that's the case, we've got a car maintenance sinking fund. So I thought I'd add that in of what we do on a no spend month. If something like that comes up, we've already prepared for it. We've already saved for that. So I thought I'd share with you as well, in this month, we've paid into our sinking fund as normal. And next month, we will pay in the total amount of our sinking funds each again in August. And if just in case you're watching for the first time, and if you've never watched any of our budgeting videos, we take all of our annual costs, we add those up of how much that would cost in total. We divide that by 12 and we save 1/12 of that each month. And we do that as normal in July, and we will do that as normal in August, in spite of the fact that we're not yet totally sure how much we're going to need to be saving or adding to it or detracting from that amount for our new home for when we get there in September. But just thought I'd add that in. Yeah, if somebody's birthday comes up in a no spend month, we've saved that, we've budgeted that. Just in the same way, I'll still get my eyebrows waxed or my face waxed, or I'll still get Mike's needs a haircut this month, or if the dogs need their haircut. It's all saved for. They are bills. Now let's talk about the absolute mundane, everyday, ordinary. Of course, in a no spend month, as normal at home here, I cook all our meals at home. They're all cooked from scratch. We eat at home. If we go out, we will take food, a flask, bottles of water with us. As normal, the washing gets washed at night time on the cheap rate. The dishwasher goes on at night time on a cheap rate. The clothes get dried out here in the garden. This beautiful sunny days that we're getting at the moment. Everything carries on as normal. We'll go out as normal. We'll do all the things we do as normal. We're not stuck at home twiddling our thumbs. We live a fulfilled life. We get out and about just as normal with our normal fuel budget that we normally put into the car. It's just we don't spend any money when we get out there. I did have a comment recently about people thought we had quite a sad, or I think he used the word parsimonious life, and we certainly don't. We live the life that we choose very, very happily. And as I've said in the previous video, Mike and I are not the type of people, win there, if that comes on the microphone, I'm sorry. We're not the type of people who need some external reward for anything we do. We're perfectly happy with everything being intrinsic. We're perfectly happy people. Okay, thank you for watching this very short video today about how we're managing to keep costs low and managing the upcoming costs of our move. Leave me a comment. Have you got a question? That's the one. Do you have a question? And I'll answer it. Have you got any questions that you want to ask us about our upcoming move that you may not know about in case you're new here? Why are we leaving Brittany? The weather's dreadful. Not today, but it is all winter, very, very wet. Why are we going to the south? 300 days of sunshine a year. Those type of questions. Ask us a question. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Leave us a comment. See you in the next video. Bye.